Should I even waste my time reviewing this? I just wasted 100 minutes of my life on this movie, so I might as well do something. The Woman in the Window. It's a rear window type thriller where Amy Adams is stuck in her home only to witness a murder across the street. The police and her neighbors don't believe her, so she, as well as the audience, have to ponder what's real and what's not. A bit trite, but could have potential for an intriguing movie. And this was directed by Joe Wright, the guy behind films like Atonement and Darkest Hour. So, what could go wrong with this movie? First of all, are we supposed to take it seriously that Amy Adams is confined to a house because she's afraid of going outside? In Rear Window, James Stewart got into an accident leaving him in a wheelchair. In Disturbia, Shia LaBeouf is under house arrest. Here, this reasoning that child psychiatrist is scared of the outside world is straight up laughable. Am I watching a psychological thriller or that one episode of SpongeBob with the gorilla and the 7-mile spanking machine? Not that the acting helps at all. Amy Adams does her best at what she's given, minus some scenes where she clearly needed an acting coach. Anthony Mackie was okay at the little he has to do in this movie in spite of his top billing. But Julianne Moore in this movie is just awful, just over the top. And Gary Oldman is even more over the top. And both are Oscar-winning actors, so what was the direction behind these two? Which makes it even more baffling since Gary won his Oscar for working with the director of this movie. But that's nothing compared to the son in this movie that just breaks into Amy Adams' house every so often. The way he's looking at her is just so creepy. Granted, Amy Adams is a fine-looking actress herself, but I wouldn't just stare at her like I want to get into her pants. In fact, while I'm mentioning this guy, I might as well bring in some of this dialogue that he's saying. I like cats' tongues. Psychology, huh? It's probably more interesting than working at Taco Bell. I'm sorry I'm so allergic to you, cat. I'd hate to be stuck in the house this shitty. Wait, that was Julianne Moore who said that last line. Who wrote this script anyway? And is it just me, or does Joe Wright not understand subtlety when directing this crap? The music by Danny Elfman is so cheesy. The lighting is either too dark to make out or overcompensating with the color red. Seriously, I don't think 3 colors red relies so much on this color. The editing is something that you see in a YouTube poop or something, not a major Hollywood movie. And I should know because I've actually made YouTube poops for years. There's these shots where we're looking at the sky with the snow's falling, but the camera's been around so much that I legit thought I was in outer space, like the beginning of Star Trek or something. And there's this other scene where Amy Adams opens her door, then it cuts to Julianne Moore walking towards her, then the camera pushes into her eye and it just fades to white. Then it cuts to Julianne Moore in the house talking to her, and there's this bright spotlight on her head like she's an angel of God or something. And then there's the bit with the sink faucet where the water dripping keeps getting faster and faster. And don't ever get me started on the scene where Amy Adams is looking through a window, only for a bloody odd to bang on the window. Then it cuts to a neighbor screaming for help through her window, and then that window just pulls out a frame where we're being greeted to some cheap blood splash that you find on YouTube for free. This doesn't look like something made by a professional at Hollywood. This is the kind of crap a student made at his class as a joke. Plus there's the climax. That feels less like a psychological thriller this movie is going for, and more like a cheap slasher movie. So what grade would I give this? The overall concept is neat, but executed like shit. Amy Adams is at least trying, and every 10 minutes or so there's a shot where I'm like, that's a pretty good looking shot. Plus I'd rather watch this movie again over something like Boss Baby or Tom and Jerry. You know what, I should give this movie a 2 out of 10. Why not? Note to self. If a major studio just dumps a movie onto a streaming service, set your expectations real low. I'm looking at you, Loud House movie. Your trailer did not impress me at all. Alright, I think I'm ready to review this thing. Just gotta start the... Wait, Has this camera been recording me this whole time?